Hi and welcome back to Alistair Davies Golf. Today's video is all about the trail wrist at the top of the backswing and trying to get your trail wrist to work like it does with the Tour Pros. Massive thanks to GolfWRX Golf Resort for allowing me to film these videos here this week. Great resort in Portugal. If you're in the area or going to the area, so please check it out. So today we're talking about wrist conditions really, and focusing a lot on wrist conditions in the top of the backswing and start of downswing. So what I want to talk about today really is more about the trail wrist and how that works. And I've done quite a few videos on the lead wrist and how the lead wrist should work, and I have a few comments from players and students, if you like, talking about how they feel it more in their trail wrist. So I thought I'd go through what the trail wrist does a little bit more in detail to try and help put across if you're an either wrist kind of player. In my world, I'm happy for you to be any wrist, any feels. You have to, and again, if you watch some of my videos, you'll know, you have to own your own feels. So what I like to do with players is get them to make moves, either through constraints or drills or concepts, and then they can tell me or tell themselves what the feels are they own that produce the right ball flight and swings that they want. So that for me is the ideal world. So ideally what I'm looking for at the top of the backswing is a right wrist that would be kind of what I call extended or bent back. Imagine you're holding a tray or something like this. So Ernie Els once talked about bunker play. He said you've got a tray of drinks and you hold the tray all the way through the downswing so you don't spill any drinks. So for me at the top of the backswing, we're kind of making sure this trail wrist is in a bent condition that allows the lead wrist to be in a flat condition. So one of the things I sometimes tell people is imagine the knuckles in your hand are getting closer to your forearm. So ideal world, I want this trail arm in what I call external shape or external feels. Obviously this is very internal, this is more external. So obviously it's not massively into external, but it's certainly not internal. I want to see it again with the elbow pointing more down towards the golf ball. In the extreme version of this, again, you won't be able to get there unless your shoulder mobility is huge. So it's kind of working in this kind of direction and then feeling like the knuckles of the trail hand get down towards the forearm. Now again, this is something I could do in my golf swing more with, because I tend to have a fraction cupped wrist at the top of the backswing. So a good feel for me also is either the lead wrist is kind of what I call revving, or the trail wrist again is kind of this revving action. So knuckles are down to the floor, and it gives me that kind of feeling of bowing the wrist like a John Rahm swing or a Dustin Johnson swing and laying that club off more. So really, you know, I don't mind which wrist you think of, but what I think is a really strong position is to get this left wrist flat, the right wrist more bent, if you like, simple words, in order to create then the opportunity to get the golf club from there, starting down correctly, getting that club facing a stronger position, getting the center of the mass of the club working behind the hands to allow us to turn onto the golf ball and use our body in a rotary sense rather than flapping at it with our hands. So this is just another way of doing that same thing. So let's just work through a swing. Okay, I'm going to work through the swing very, very slowly to the top, really feeling that my knuckles work down towards my kind of forearm and elbow. And now I'm going to try and hit one doing the same thing. So that would be a rehearsal. Really slow, really deliberate. Now when I go and hit this one, I'm going to again do it really slow, really deliberate, almost stop at the top, can stop if you want to, and then I'm going to hit a golf ball. Now I'm doing this really deliberate, one, because I need more of this in my golf swing, so it's not easy for me to demonstrate. So again, totally understand the guys that can't do this, but again, working towards this will slowly chip away at the natural moves you have. You know, we all have our own swing DNAs, and what we want to do is chip away at them, so naturally we start to change and move differently. So, taking my setup, okay, and I'm going to make a swing really slow. Okay, so that was quite hard for me to do. We're going to do another one. But again, the feels are really different for me, and it's really hard for me to go at that speed also. Let's try another shot. Okay, timing was better on that one. and that one was easier to hit. Again, just doing a few shots in it, and you know, it's only my first 2 shots doing that, for example, this morning. So it's not easy. So totally understand, you know, when you're doing things, don't be scared of failure. Every practice session should have some failure in it in order for you to move forward. We learn from failure far more than success. Now, I actually prefer practice sessions will have some failure in them, because then I'm motivated to keep practicing to make changes. If everything's swimmingly good, I don't feel motivated to hit more balls. That's just me in person. Some people love practicing, absolutely great, and credit to them. So today's video, how to get kind of wrist action like a tour player, and how that leads on then to allowing us to have more, let's say, more successful wrist action on the way down to help us be more successful at impact and therefore produce better shots. This should help lower the ball flight, strengthen the ball flight, make it more straight or more even draw type shape. You can hit a fade from this if we have the right conditions on the way down, but it'll certainly encourage that more draw shape if we're looking for that also. Hope you've enjoyed this video on the trail wrist and how it can help the left wrist or the lead wrist in that top of the backswing, in that transition area in the golf swing. And again, different players feel it with different wrists and different hands, and there's no problem with that. So use what works for you. If you have liked this video, please click like down below. It really, really helps my channel grow, and I really appreciate that. Also chat, tell me if there's any videos you want me to cover or ask any questions you have, and I'll be sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please do. Please join me on my journey, and then you'll get all the notifications of all my videos for free. I post 3 videos a week on all different subjects, so please help me drive the channel in the right direction, but tell me what videos you want and subscribe, so make sure you get all those videos then for free. So thanks for watching. See you again here soon. Happy golfing.